رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد. صلى الله عليك يا مولانا يا أبا عبد الله، صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، صلى الله عليك يا ابن فاطمة المظلومة. ما خاب من تمسك بقام وأمن من لجأ إليه قام. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن يعظم حرمات الله فهو خير له عند ربه. وأحلت لكم الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم فاجتنبوا الرجس من الأوثان واجتنبوا قول الزور. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. أفضل من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. For the love of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad. For the love of Hazrat Ali al-Akbar, with the loudest of our voices, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad. And for the love of our beloved Imam Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, Ruhi wa arwah al-alamin li-turab maqdamih al-fida, Sallu ala Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بعلي الأكبر، وجعلنا الله وإياكم من الطالبين بثأره مع إمام المنصور المؤيد. Once again, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this moment and this opportunity tonight, being the 9th night of the holy month of Muharram. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our humble efforts in this holy month. And we sincerely beseech in His presence to write our names in the list of the true lovers and followers of Abu Abdullah al-Hussaini. Brothers and sisters who recall very well, last night we looked at model of a successful community leader. And as we mentioned last night, is to inspire one another on the best way of becoming a good leader who will benefit people in this dunya and on the day of Qiyamah get the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The verse I've just quoted from glorious Quran is from Quran 22 verse 30. That is Surah Al-Hajj. If you go to look at this verse, its direct translation, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in the beginning of the verse is talking about those who hold in honor the symbols of Allah, which we discussed on the first night and the second night of our majlis. But the last part of the verse is what I'm going to discuss tonight, where Allah said, فَاجْتَنِبُوا الرِّجِسَ مِنَ الْأَوْثَانِ وَاجْتَنِبُوا قَوْلَ الزُّورِ. Allah says, stay away from the abomination of idols and the false word. So my discussion is going to be based on this false word. Therefore, our topic of tonight will be man's battle between connection with the earth and connection with the heaven. And our examination of tonight will be of only one stage. That is the prohibition of music. So this connection with the earth and connection with the heaven has something to do with music. And the verse I've just quoted, if you go to look at the verse, one of the companions of our beloved Sif Imam came to our Imam Hisham and he asked Imam, what is the meaning of Qawl al-Dhur, false word? Then Imam said, one example of a false word is al-ghina, music. That Allah said, stay away from fajtanibu. Stay away from it. Distance yourself from it. No doubt music is one challenge that most people, especially the youth, face in their lives. And it is something we need to understand from the Islamic point of view properly. I know we all know it's haram in Islam, and that's what I'm going to discuss. But sometimes, how is it haram is what we need to know. And as I discussed on that night, we looked at the question of the youth. It's very important that as a youth you understand your potential. And one of the things which Allah expects a youth to have is to have the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, it is very, very important you understand your challenges. You understand pros of your life and the cons of your life. And to see how best you can. Yes, we have even elders who have problems with music. And they find it very difficult to distance themselves from music. Now, to begin my lecture, I want to share a very beautiful tradition from our beloved prophets on the importance and significance, not just a youth, but everyone and the leadership. The Holy Prophet said, and I want to pay attention to this riwayah, سَبْعَةٌ يُذِلُّهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي ظِلِّهِ يَوْمَ لَا ظِلَّ إِلَّا ظِلُّهُ. Rasulullah said there are 7 groups of people. They will be provided with a shade on the day of Qiyamah when there will be no shade. 7. And I want you to look at this 7. Then we enter into this discussion. The first one Rasulullah said, Imamun Adil, just leader. Imam here doesn't mean Maulana who leads Salah. Imam in Islam literally means leader. Every just leader will be provided with a shade on the day of Qiyamah. 2. وَشَابٌ نَشَأَ فِي عِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ. And a young star, male or female, who when he grows while loving Allah. A youngster, like our youngsters here, as you grow now, you grow loving Allah. You are very enthusiastic when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then number 3, وَرَجُلٌ كَلْبُهُ مُعَلَّقٌ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. And you find someone whose heart is connected to the mosque. He always goes to mosque. The heart is connected to mosque. Rasulullah said you will get shade on the day of Qiyamah. Then he said, وَرَجُلَانِ تَعَابَّا فِي اللَّهِ اجْتَمَعَا عَلَيْهِ وَتَفَرَّقَا عَلَيْهِ. And you find 2 Muslims, they love one another, not because of anything but for the sake of Allah. And also, they get separated, meaning they have to do them apart, also through the love of Allah. They will be giving shade on the day of Qiyamah. And then number 5, Rasulullah said, وَرَجُلٌ ذَكَرَ اللَّهُ خَالِيًا فَفَاضَتْ عَيْنَهُ. He said, and a person who sits somewhere and remember Allah in secret, and as he remembers Allah, tears begin to overflow from his eye. He'll be giving shade on the day of Qiyamah. And then وَرَجُلٌ تَصَدَّقَ بِيَمِينِهِ حَتَّى لَا تَعْلَمُ شِمَالُهُ مَا تَصَدَّقَ يَمِينَهُ. And the one who gives charity with his right hand, to the extent that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand gives. You'll be giving shade on the day of Qiyamah. And the last one, Rasulullah said, and someone who sees haram. This is the point I'm departing from. It is haram. And he knows it's haram. But his heart tells him, do it. You can ask for tawbah. You are still young. Allah is Ghafur Rahim. So you find yourself in between to do or not to do. But eventually you allow not to do to outweigh to do. Allah said you'll be giving shade on the day of Qiyamah. Music is a challenge. Wallahi. Question. Why is music haram? And what is the philosophy of the prohibition of music in Islam? I want you to pay attention to this taqreer. It's very important. And if you have any question after that, you can ask me. Many people come forward and ask this a very important question, especially most of our youth that I interact with, they have these questions. But why is Islam making music haram? Why? And then they ask the question, they've got a reason, which is a good reason somehow. Say because when you analyze and examine music, you will understand that music يتناغم مع الفطرة والروح. It goes hand in hand with what our soul and nature likes. Meaning when we listen to music, we feel good. When we listen to music, we feel motivated. Youth, they mentioned that. When we listen to music, we feel charged. So why is music haram? If it coincide with the need of our nature. And this is because when you look at insan by nature, he is inclined to beauty. Whether the beauty is seen or the beauty is heard. Because you have sometimes beauty that you see, but there are certain things that are beautiful you don't see, but you hear them. The beauty that you see is anything beautiful, but the one you hear the music is something beautiful, but you don't see, you hear it. So the nature of insan is such that he or she is inclined to beauty. That is why we have the law of beauty, or the law of attraction. And these people, when they ask this question, they said, and we are taught in Islam, for one to be able to implement practically the teachings of Allah, it has to conform with the need of our nature. So now music, it responds to the need of our soul. It responds to the need of our heart. Why Islam is making it haram? Today you find people, they come to Majlis of Abu Abdullah, Wallah, on the eve of Ashur. Going back home, they are playing music. You find people, you go to their houses in Muharram, they play music. Ramadan, you find people on the day of Eid, they play music. So why is haram? I'm going to indicate two things as to why music is not allowed in Islam. And I just want to provoke your thoughts. I may not be able to exhaust it all. Just to provoke your thoughts, especially the youngsters, go and start thinking about it if you are someone who is examined and challenged by the love of music. Because it can become an obstacle in your way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first thing I want to indicate is man's battle between his connection with earth and his connection with heaven. What is it? This connection with earth and this connection with heaven. Connection with the heaven simply means connection with Allah. Connection with the earth simply means connection with yourself. There is inside the insan a battle between to connect with Allah and to connect with himself. Because whatever you do in this world is connection with yourself. You want to entertain yourself. You want to enjoy. You want to feel good. You want to feel happy. You want to feel comfortable. It is connection with oneself. There is a battle inside each and every one of us, including Maulanas. We have this battle, whether to go the direction of Allah or the direction of Shaitan. Now I'm trying to explain why Islam makes music haram. So listen to this very carefully. Each connection with Allah has something that it gives insan. Connection with insan himself, it has something that it gives insan. Now let's begin with connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the benefit? Then once we understand the benefit, we then go further. Number one, connection with Allah. Scholars mention ترسخ الكمال الروحي في الإنسان. Connection with Allah ensures that you become perfect and contented in the eye of Allah. Who is contented? When you are connected with Allah, with the heaven, you are perfect and kamil in the eye of Allah. Connection with Allah doesn't mean you don't go to work, you don't enjoy good things, you don't eat good food. No. Upon all this, you can connect with Allah. Two benefits of connecting with Allah: as-saytara al-awatif wal-mashaa'ir, as they mention in the riwayat. When you are connected with Allah, youngster, brother, sister, youth, what happens? You will then have control over your emotion and over your feelings. You're going to have authority over this. Not only on that, you're going to have a control and are your reactions and desires in life. If you are connected with Allah, you will have control and authority over all your inclinations in life. The reason as to why I and you are vulnerable, we are vulnerable. We get exposed to a condition, we get finished and absorbed. It's simply because I and you are declining and failing to connect fully with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So once you connect with heaven, you have control entirely over yourself. Quran highlights on this. I don't want to take much time. We don't have time. Quran emphasize on the importance of connecting with Allah. And luckily tomorrow we are discussing spirituality. Allah comes with in a known verse you all know. But sometimes maybe we go through the Murur and Kiram and just easily walk over. Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We've not created ins and jinn, save for them to worship me. What does it mean? Just come, Allahu Akbar, Sami Allahu liman hamida. La. Is to connect with Allah. Yani whatever form of worship that you do, it should be able to connect you with Allah. Hence Allah said it is for the sake of servitudeness and ubudiyya lillahi azza wa jalla. Another ayah. وَدُعُوهُ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا إِنَّ رَحْمَةَ اللَّهِ قَرِيبٌ مِّنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah said in Quran. Allah said, call on me in difficulties and in easiness, in pain and in pleasure. Why does he want you to call on him in pain? Of course, us, when we are in pain, that's the time we know mosque. So once the pain is overcome, people hardly come. You see when people they have been pain, they become holier than thou, malaika. Wallah, once the problem is over, who cares? Or the youth, before they get married, they become more spiritual. Even that day, they kiss the hand of Maulana. But after marriage, Maulana fi amanillah. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allah said, in pain or in easiness, why he said, call me? Because he wants you to connect. Let your heart connect. Once it is connected, you are free. Situations will never tempt you. You will be okay. Another ayah, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Allah said, indeed, believers are successful. Who are those? They are those, they are humble, and they find themselves with all forms of humility during Salah. Meaning during Salah, they are able to connect to Allah. My father, we just finished Jum'ah. Are you connected? Have you connected yourself with heaven? You come to the majlis of Abu Abdullah. Do you connect with the heaven? It's not only through tahajjud that you connect to the heaven. You can connect to the heaven through charity, through one marsiya, through one ma'tam, through one majlis. It depends on how determined you are and how serious you are to connect with the world of the unseen. Now look at the riwayah. Allah said, خِفِ اللَّهَ كَأَنَّكَ تَرَى فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَى فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. Hey, be conscious of the teachings of Allah as if you see Allah. Wherever you are, behave in such a way that like you see Allah. Then riwayah said, if yes, you cannot see him, know that he sees you. Then Rasulullah said, whoever think that he cannot see Allah and Allah cannot see him, he has committed kufr. And he said, whoever knows that Allah sees him and yet he commits a sin, he has undermined Allah and made Allah the most undermined personality in his life. Who commits sin and he doesn't know that Allah sees him? You tell me. Today, ask yourself, is there any sin we do and we don't know that is haram? Remember just talking, just reminding people. Everybody knows it's haram. You tell me the sin you've done and you don't know that is haram. We only justify. That is what Rasulullah said, أَشَدُّ الظُّنُوبُ مَنْ اسْتَخَفَّ بِهِ صَاحِبُهُ. The worst sin is for you to undermine what you do. So therefore, in short, these are the benefits and the Quranic verses and riwayat of the importance of connecting with the heaven. Now let us look at connecting with the earth. Connecting with earth is to connect with yourself. What does it make you? It brings the animal side of insan. You know, insan in logic, as they mention, is a reasoning animal. Insan is a reasoning animal. Hayawan al-natiq, but in mantiq, they mention in logic. So connecting with oneself alone, at the expense of connecting with the heaven, what it does? It brings the animal dimension of insan. It brings the desire. Because connecting with yourself alone only push you to your desire, feeling your desire and nothing else. That is why Allah said, Inna nafsa la ammaratun bisu. Yourself only pushes you to do wrongs. And you know what is nafs? Nafs is a collection of desire, collection of inclination, collection of a feeling, and collection of emotion. That is nafs. And what does nafs do? Nafs only wants you to satisfy your desire, to satisfy your emotion, to satisfy your inclination. That's it. So yes, scholars ask question. When I listen to music, what sort of connection it builds in me? Is it connection with heaven or connection with earth? Music connect us with ourselves. Feel good. You down, you feel good. It connects you with yourself and not with heaven. Hence, number one, Islam says haram. Because it always takes you happiness, no seriousness. So it connects you with the earth and not with the heaven. As Allah comes on and said, it's haram, stay away from it. Music is one of the manifestations of a hubb dunya. Love of dunya. Now the second thing I want to indicate to is what? Okay, we said, Ya Allah, we've understood music is haram. This is a bit logical and philosophical. We've understood Allah, music is haram. But sometimes we feel good, as I mentioned earlier on. Why can't we make it say, listen to it a little bit and then you live? Not too much. Why you generalize, Ya Allah? There's a question like that in theology. Why the prohibition of music is general? It's not specific. Music, haram. Why can't Allah tell us, or riwayat, you can listen to music sometimes, it's okay. Indian movie, you listen to those music of Shaka, of Didar, I don't know who and who, Ya Allah. Most of our houses, you go, they listen to this music, some of them, Allahu Akbar. May Allah grant us the shafa of Imam al-Zaman. Why Allah, you not making it that way? Someone finished listening to radio, you leave the music completely. FM music. Oh, I say, no, I'm listening to radio. Why? At least Allah make it around sometime and another time. Why generalizing? I give you an example. This is a logical reason. When you drive, you see traffic lights. Other countries, they call it robots. Because some countries, they call traffic light robots. When you see red, before amber, green, whatever, you see red, you stop. But somebody may come and look, I'm a driving instructor. I don't think I will get involved in any accident. Why wouldn't they make specification to say, the examiner of the drivers or the driving instructor, at least you know how to drive, you know the road, you will not collide with anyone, you can go. Why is it that in the darkness of the night, when there are no cars, you know why? Have you ever thought of it? I don't know whether we have thought of it. So you know why? Those who pass the law, they are not looking at Sarfaraz, Sheikh Nuru, Sheikh Rashid, Hadi Salim, Had Shabir, no. Muki, Allah. They are not looking at us only. They are looking at the slightest possibility of accidents. They said, even if there is a slightest possibility, let's generalize it. You know who is very powerful and you are able to go twist here and there will be a moment where you may get involved in an accident. Even if it is once in 100 years. Because of that, let's generalize it. Or else the nature of insan is that insan will always capitalize on that one and leave the one which is prohibited. It's like Islam comes and said, Kullu muskirin haram. Every intoxicant is unlawful. But there are people who drink, they don't get intoxicated really. I mean, you go weekends, you go to some of these bars, people drink. There are normal drink coming on aeroplane, people drink. Why Islam? He said, haram. He said, no, we look at the slightest possibility. There may be a moment when it will affect you. That is why Islam said general is music is like that. You may be able to connect to Allah, but it has some small damages that it can have on you, and it may distract you from connecting with Allah. Hence, Islam generalized the prohibition of music. That is why the Holy Prophet mentioned listening to music instill hypocrisy in a person's heart. They ask hypocrisy, but we have so many musicians, they are not hypocrites. They are philanthropists, good Samaritans. They sponsor children from Africa and other places of the world. Oh. No, we are not talking of hypocrisy or being double standard. La. Listening to music always will take you slowly but surely away from Allah. Slowly, in a very subtle way. Wallahi, you will not recognize it. You need to be that smart and sharp and determined for you to be able to identify. So Allah made it haram. It's not looking at only you. It's saying that maybe out of that 200 years that you live and listen to music, there will be a moment when it will affect you. Hence will make it haram. Hence you come, Quran. There are verses in Quran that come completely to say music is haram, don't listen to it. Stay away from it. The first verse, the best I quoted, Surah Al-Hajj, verse 30. So haram, don't do anything, stay away from it. Yes, sometimes it may be difficult, but slowly you have to stay away from it. Another verse of Quran which says it's completely haram is Surah Al-Quran, verse 6, Quran 31. Allah made it very clear. الذين اشتروا اللهو والحديث. Those who sell and transact in false words. False word means music. In the traditions of Ahlul Bayt, stay away from it. That's what Ahlul Bayt tells us. To such an extent, we have a riwayah, and this is a very fascinating riwayah, that any house where Quran is being recited and the presence of Allah, shaitan will not enter that house. But any house where gina means music, is being listened to from time to time, shaitan will always be available in that house, and the angels of Rahmah will not enter that house. So sometimes if some of us are not really into salat, into going to the mosque, check yourself. Double check yourself. Yes, Islam doesn't say if you are too much inclined overnight you leave it. Slowly, but you have to know that it's not something good for you. It's something that Islam says stay away from it. Hence, of course, if you got the teachings of our Maharaji, they said it's haram, but to determine which music is haram is in your hand. Sayyid Khoi said the essence of music It's maqulatul sawt, is the sound. Agassi study said maqulatul kalam is the word. But then our scholars give us a criteria, one criteria. So long as it befitting the place of lahwi and lagwi, raqs, dancing, entertainment, then haram. So now it is upon you to decide which one. Because some scholars said the classical one may not be a problem. The quiet one may not be a problem. Some scholars. But scholars are telling us in our fiqh that lahwi and lagwi, it follows the place of entertainment, stay away. So then when we come here, there are during marriages, women, they gather together, they sing. So long as there are not any instrument, Islam said it's fine, there's no problem. But the one which is haram and it is gaining trend in our communities, unfortunately, because people want to show they have money. During receptions, there are music, mixed gathering. This is what is depriving the marriages of the blessings of Allah. I mentioned this in Istanbul some time ago. So that's why sometimes most of the receptions, the Maulanas are not invited. You come, you see the Kabil to Tasbih, Alhamdulillah. Then the invitation was passed through secretly. Why? They're going to hire somewhere. Today, how many people? 30,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds. People, Rasulullah said, the walima food of marriage, you have to give it in the following way. Ensure that there are 10 masakin part of it, because when they eat, that will be the best food of their life, and that will bring blessing to that marriage. Today, rich invite rich only for show off. Music in our marriages, be careful. Don't we see rate of divorces? Have you ever asked ourselves why? People hire, they dance. You find the lady without the hijab sometimes. And men are sitting and they are dancing. Haram in Islam, ikhwani wa azzai, brothers and sisters. We cannot allow that to continue. So therefore, these are the cautions of our scholars. And lastly, of course, you look at today, sometimes when we praise Ahlul Bayt, people clap their hands. This has no base in our riwayat. It has no base. I've not seen any riwayat. But we clap. Recently, somebody sent me a letter from London. And he addressed to me and other sheikhs, I cannot mention their names. Said, we've attended some gathering in Birmingham, our own center. And those who are reciting the mankabat, it's like they are dancing, they are jumping, like dancing. And people are dancing. Is it it's not acceptable in Islam? It's not acceptable in Islam. You do that and you dance. It's not acceptable. So therefore, young and old, our aim in life should be to connect with Allah. The essence of life is to connect with Allah. You know why? You tell me. If life, wallah, if life is to live 100 years, say 200 years, make money, enjoy my life, is life, then it has no purpose. Wallahi. Have you seen when you don't have money and you get it, you feel that's not what you wanted? That's why the more you have, the more you want to have more. You never get satisfied. That's how it is. And it comes with its own headache. If that is life, then there's no life. Young brothers and sisters, life is to connect with your Creator. And you have the power to connect with Allah. Don't let someone come and say, no, it's temptation, it's your time, don't worry about it. No. Make an attempt and make an effort. You will be able to overcome that. But if you take it, no, I cannot do. then you always do that, it's a problem. And in conclusion, brothers and sisters, fathers, I know some of our fathers, they love music so much. You know, in the midst of your children, in the presence of your children, you are violating their rights. A child who is not baligh, matured, when he's exposed to that, he may be good in akhlaq, but his love for Allah may reduce. The entire thing of music in Islam is not about you not have a good akhlaq, no. Maybe the musicians, well, they've got the best of akhlaq than us. It's not about that. It's about your connection with Allah. When last did you make salat and you feel good, nice, happy? When last? You know one of the reasons? Wallah, music. You feel good. And you don't want the salat to finish. When last did that happen to you? Even for a second, that feeling. Well, you know what deprives us of this taste? Is some of these things. It replaces the taste of divinity. So endeavor not to allow that to replace it. Always try through these temptations to fight, struggle, and you will overcome it. Have you seen people when they come to majlis? So majlis too long, marsiya too long. Music, they say no, it's for entertainment, you don't feel bad, it's good. Movie, 1 hour. Our elders, some of them love this music, these movies. Majlis 30 minutes, oh, it's too long. Oh, it's too long. Movie, 1 hour. You know why? You think it's normal? Check your spirituality, check your heart. Check it. And do a bit of self-introspection. Whoever doesn't enjoy worship, and instead of enjoying worship, enjoy something else, you need self-introspection. So the young ones, I don't want you to be like that. All these youngsters who are sitting next to me, you are our future. Allah loves you so much. You try. There is a challenge, you try. But you try, follow the footsteps. Your music should be marsiya. Your music should be mankabat. Your music should be Quran. Your music should be the praises of Allah. Personally, I don't understand Urdu properly. But whenever, wallahi, I am down, I can show you my phone. I listen to only Urdu matter. And this has been since I became a Shia. And Arabic a bit sometimes. Sometimes I don't understand. Full, I don't understand. But it relieved me of my problem. Beginning when they were reciting back then on understanding, I wouldn't understand. It used to be boring. But when I start to get into it, trying to ask people the understanding, I feel good. And one thing I like about here is that I see during Matam, the youngsters are a lot in number. Other places I've been, you see there are no youngsters during Matam. This is a plus for this community. And we need to continue and hands off to the parents. And we need to continue like that. Encourage the youngsters. Let them get more love for Marcia. That can replace these things easily. Let them put them into that love. Their hearts are plain and are pure and are clean. We should not allow rust to overtake it. Show them that. Teach them Marcia. Teach them Noha. Teach them Mankaba. That is the only way to build a relationship with the Heaven. And how you have started, I think this is the way forward. And no better person to learn from than Ali Yunil Akbar alayhi salam. Tonight is the night of Akbar. I always say to myself and to the youth, look at how powerful Ali Yunil Akbar was for you to learn, take inspiration from him. Today or tonight is the night of the fathers. We need of the mothers and the brothers. Masa'ib of Ali al-Akbar is for fathers. Every musibah there is a lesson. What sort of relationship you should have with your sons? That is the highlight of the Masa'ib of Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. No doubt, he was the first of Banu Hashim to obtain Shahada or Matadam alongside his beloved father, Abu Abdullah al-Hussaini alayhi salam. So I say to the youth, open your heart tonight, listen carefully to the musibah, and after the musibah, ask Allah to inspire you through the tragedy of Ali al-Akbar. And say, Ya Allah, I want to represent Ali al-Akbar. Help me to be able to do so. You know, the musibah of Ali al-Akbar made it very difficult for the sons and daughters of Rasulullah on the 10th day of Muharram. That is why narration says from Abu Abdullah, if there is someone who is closest to Rasulullah in his look and akhlaq and intellect, is Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. Narration says when he came out, the enemies were confused. Was he Rasulullah or Ali al-Akbar? Because he was a replicate of Rasulullah. And before we begin, I want to start this musibah by quoting one of our marja. This will break your hearts. See, the marja said, one night I was fast asleep. Then in my sleep, I dreamt about Abdullah. In the dream, I saw Abu Abdullah in the pool of blood and arrows around the body. So all over the body of Abu Abdullah, there were arrows. You could not even figure out the skin of Abu Abdullah. Like they said, hedgehog. Then he said, okay, I woke up. I cried. The next night again, I dreamt Hussaini alayhi salam. But when I dreamt Hussaini, I saw his body, there were only 2 arrows. All the arrows were gone. Then he said, I then asked my beloved master and savior, Ya Abu Abdullah, last night I saw you in the pool of blood and arrows over your body. Why tonight only 2 arrows? Listen, brothers and sisters, this inspire us and motivate us. The alim said, Abu Abdullah responded to me in a dream that, Wallah, the tears of my Shia removed all the arrows. Every night you cry, it makes Hussain happier. He said, the tears of my Shia removed all the arrows from my body. But there are 2 arrows, the tears cannot remove them. Allahu Akbar. He said, Ya Mawla, what are the 2 arrows that our tears cannot remove? You've been to Karbala, you know where I'm going. You've been to the Sari Mubarak of Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah said it is the arrow on the neck of Ali al-Asghar. Your tears cannot remove that. The Maulana said, what is the second arrow? He said the second arrow is the dagger on the chest of Ali al-Akbar. You know the dagger in the chest of Akbar. Allahu Akbar. When you go to Karbala, you know what I'm talking about? When Imam Zain al-Abidin came on the 40th day to join the body of Abu Abdullah with the head of Abu Abdullah. When Imam Zain al-Abidin came next to the body of Abu Abdullah, he overheard Abu Abdullah talking and voice coming from the Zari Mubarak. What was he saying? He said, oh my beloved son Zain al-Abidin, I want you to place Asghar on my chest. Bury me, but place Asghar. Say, Ya Allah, Baba, Abu Abdullah, why placing Asghar on your chest? was Katalega of Asghar. That was the slaughtering area of Asghar. But then he said, Zayn al-Abidin, place Akbar by my feet. Allahu Akbar. The narration says on the 10th day of Muharram, Akbar woke up in the morning. This will break your heart. When he woke up in the morning, it was namaz and salat time. Akbar went and stood, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The moment Akbar began the azan, Layla, Sayyida Zainab, Ramla, Rabab, Bakr, Imam Zayn al-Abidin, they all began to cry. We said, why? He said, because this is the last azan we will hear from Akbar. We know there will be no any azan anymore. Allahu Akbar. Narration says he came to his father. And you know, each and every companion who came to Abu Abdullah, Imam al-Hussaini alayhi salam hesitated to grant permission. The only one he never hesitated to grant permission to him to go was his beloved son Akbar. And you know how Abu Abdullah love Akbar, love your sons like that. Allahu Akbar, he hugged Ali al-Akbar and both of them began to cry. They cried, and he said to Akbar, now go to Khaymaga, your mother is there, go and bid farewell. When he entered, the ladies began to cry, wa wayla. They cried, Zainab cried, Layla cried, Ramla cried, they were all crying because they know that was the final moment with Akbar alayhi salam. Akbar then came out. He rode his horse, he headed towards the battlefield. Look at the love of Abu Abdullah to his son. We are told as Akbar was going, Abu Abdullah was walking slowly behind Akbar. All of a sudden Hussein called, Akbar, 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 stop. Akbar stopped here when the man said, on account of respect he had for Abu Abdullah, he stopped. He came and said, Father, you granted me permission. I know my fathers, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going, why are you calling me again? There is no time. You know what Abu Abdullah said? Akbar, may Allah never show you a moment, you know, when your son is bidding farewell, you will not see him again. You know the son is going and he's not going to come back. Abu Abdullah could not hold that. He began to cry. He said, Akbar, you will know the pain of that the day you become a father. Allahu Akbar. We are told that Akbar went to the battlefield. He fought, he defended, they attacked him. But you know, Layla, the mother of Akbar, loved Akbar so much. But she could not bear, look at this line of Musiba. It hurt so much. She could not bear to look at the battlefield. It was difficult. You know what she would do? She would only look at the complexion of the face of Abu Abdullah. She came, she stood next to Abu Abdullah. And all of a sudden she saw the complexion was changing. Then she said, oh Hussein, is Akbar dying? You know what Abu Abdullah said? My mother, take a lesson here. Abu Abdullah said to Layla, oh Layla, Allah promised to answer the dua of a mother for her son. There is no obstacle. You go and make dua. That was the moment when Layla made the famous dua. Ya Allah, you return Ismail to Hajara, return Akbar to us, Ya Allah. Then she said, Ya Allah, Yusuf to Yaqub. Bless Allah, return Akbar to us. We are told before she landed with the second dua, Akbar began to rush and come in. My father, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, Al-Atash. And he kept saying, my father, the heat of Karbala is burning me. And the Amma is killing me, my father. He went to his mom and he said, Mom, are you proud of me? Then he came to Abu Abdullah. Look at this line, Arbab al-Matatil beautifully explained. When he said to Abu Abdullah, First. You know what Hussein did? Allahu Akbar. Abu Abdullah came closer to Akbar. Then he placed his tongue into the mouth of Akbar to get some wetness. You son come no water. And you just the saliva from your mouth. When he placed his tongue into the mouth of Akbar, you know what Akbar said? Akbar said, Father, your mouth is drier than my mouth. You can't quench me. Abu Abdullah said, Akbar, go. You will soon meet Rasulullah. You will quench your thirst. Akbar went and fought. But you know how they killed the Akbar? You take a dagger. You know dagger? When Akbar fought, this guy lifted the dagger straight on the chest of Akbar. He tagged the chest. I'm not talking of a nail, dagger. He tagged the chest of Akbar. When he tagged the chest, Akbar screamed, Wa alayka salamu ya Abu Abdullah. You know what happened? For every mataya, Hussein will rush to go. But Akbar, Abu Abdullah was just walking all hasty. Slowly, all hasty. But when he came out, you know what happened? Sakina was following Abu Abdullah. But then Sakina realized Akbar was there. But Abu Abdullah took a wrong direction. Sakina called on, Papa, where are you going? He said, I'm going to Akbar. Sakina said, but Papa, Akbar is here and you are going there. He said, Sakina, it kills me to know Akbar is dying. This is the love I'm talking about. My fathers love us. This is the love I'm talking about. He said, Sakina, it kills me to know I'm losing Akbar. But you know, this is the final moment. I will leave you here, inshallah. Bear with me. May Allah grant you the reward of these tears. These tears will be shafa for you on the day of Qiyamah. Wallah, when Abu Abdullah was approaching Akbar, you know when something is dug on your chest. You've seen when you slaughter animal. Animal, the life doesn't just go easily. You see the animal, after you even remove the knife, the animal is still between life and death, isn't it? When they dug on the chest of Akbar, the life was still there. But Akbar was was going on the ground like a snake. He was turning left and right. And he was raising one hand. Wa alayka salamu ya Abu Abdullah. The father was walking slowly. He didn't want to rush to the body of Akbar. Abu Abdullah, when he got to the body of Akbar, he was wondering why Akbar was passing salam with one hand. Because he knew always Akbar would hug him. Oh, my son. When he got to the body, then he realized Akbar was covering the dagger with the left hand. He didn't want Abu Abdullah to see the dagger. Here, Abu Abdullah stood and looked at Najaf. You've seen Karbala? You look at the direction of Najaf. Allahu Akbar. He said, Assalamu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'min. Oh, my father, you lifted the door of Khaybar with your hand. Come and see your son lifting dagger from the chest of his son in Karbala. This is the final moment. Narration says, Akbar would smile and he would cry. In that final moment, he would smile and he would cry. Abu Abdullah, why Akbar smiling and crying? Look at this line. This line breaks the heart of the love of Ali al-Akbar. Take your heart to Karbala and Maqam Ali al-Akbar. Abu Abdullah said, why Akbar was smiling? Because when he would turn here, he would see Rasulullah. When he said, Akbar, why are you crying? When I turn this side, I see Fatima slapping on her cheek. You see the image of Rasulullah, and Bibi Fatima was slapping on her cheek. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. إلهي يريدا بقضائك وتسليما لأمرك وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين.
पाया, प्यासा ही मारा, बर्छी से मारा मेरे जिगर को। उठो अली अकबर दूल्हा बनाऊं। कहती थी अम्मा